What's up guys, welcome to the second edition of the Metal Detector. On today's episode we're going to have a look at one of the bands which each and every one of you must absolutely listen to, and also talk about one of the unsung heroes of the new wave of British heavy metal. Now the first band that I'm going to be talking about in this segment is this unique band which cannot be put into a single genre. If anything, they can be considered as a mixture of thrash, death, groove and melodeath. And the band that I'm referring to is Orbit Culture. Now, Orbit Culture is a band which was formed in 2013 all the way from Sweden. Now, the band has 3 full-length albums under their belt, and the newest release, Nisha, was actually released just a few weeks ago in the beginning of August. Now, there is 2 main reasons why I absolutely enjoy the band. The first one has to be with the unpredictability of where the track is actually going towards. This band has got so many changes inside a single track that it keeps everything so fresh when you listen to it. There isn't a dull moment, or also it doesn't feel like it's uncohesive enough that you start feeling that, probably the ending is kind of departing from where the beginning of the song actually is. The other aspect why I love the band has purely to do with the lyrical content. While it might be cliche that a lot of death metal bands purely talk about gore, torture, humans, things like that, Orbit Culture takes it a step forward. They have a lot of songs which center around science, mythologies, and a fair bit about the human existence as well. Another surprising aspect of this band is how well they can mix together clean vocals and guttural vocals without sounding like a metalcore band. And yes, that is a dig at how formulative and by the numbers metalcore has become. Now, talking about the vocals, there are going to be a few aspects of this band which are going to be glaringly obvious. Now, the first one has to be the clean vocals by the frontman and founding member Nicholas. He sounds dead on like a really young James Hetfield. And for all the people who might look into their videos and live shows, it becomes pretty evident that James Hetfield might have actually influenced him. From his use of the Explorer being his primary axe, all the way up to the stance and the way that the vocals are delivered. Every time that I look at him play, it kind of feels more like James Hetfield's distant Swedish cousin is on stage. Now, coming to what their music offers, they have a wide variety of songs, all the way from mosh pit bangers to distant melodies which kind of make you sway. It's quite surprising to me that a band which is so dynamic is not actually heard of all that often. With that said, I'm also pretty happy that the band is actually getting a bit more recognition than they did in the first 2 albums. I bet you there are going to be a few songs which you're going to absolutely love no matter which genre of metal you prefer. This is a band which is going to be treasured by a lot of you who prefer listening to Gojira, Lamb of God, Meshuggah, and of course Soilwork. Now, the second band which I want to talk to you guys about is one of these bands which has been around since 1980. They have played a very prominent role in the new wave of British heavy metal, and also surprisingly never comes up when we talk about the genre. To be quite honest, I personally don't know a lot of people who even know this band exists. And the band which I'm talking about is Tank. Now, when we're talking about their history and current position, it's kind of tangled up when you think about it, but I'll try my best to simplify it and bring it across to you guys. Now, this band was formed in 1980 and they were quite active till 1989. After this point of time, they were on a hiatus all the way up to 1997. After this, they went quite strong till 2007, and from here on out, it gets a bit more interesting. At the moment, there are actually 2 bands which are named Tank. Now, coming to why exactly there are 2 bands with the same name, Now, the band primarily consisted of three members: Algie Ward, Mick Tucker, and Cliff Evans. Now, in 2007, Cliff and Mick branched out from Tank and formed their own band with the same name. Now, until this date, the original Tank has got 6 full-length albums, and the Tank, which was formed by Cliff and Mick, have 4 full-length albums under their name. Now, coming to the music that these guys make, it is pure new wave of British heavy metal. Now, these are as pure as any album made by Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, or anyone out there. Now, I'm pretty sure if any of you guys go out there and listen to the band's older albums, you will be quite surprised about how the band never came to the spotlight that they deserve. An interesting feel what this band has to offer is that they almost feel like an amalgamation between the new wave of British heavy metal and Motorhead. Now, for someone like me who loves to kick back and listen to the older albums which started off the whole metal movement, it was an absolute treat when I came across these guys. Everything from their vocal melodies to their guitar work is just pure bliss. Now, this is a band which is a must listen for all of you guys who enjoy bands like Iron Maiden, Venom, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, or any of the early wave of metal bands. Now, those were the bands which were on our radar for today. Now, are these bands new for you guys or something that you guys have been listening to for quite a while? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, let us know in the comments down below on which are the bands that you feel deserve to be mentioned in the Metal Detector. Now, if this is the first time you're coming across our channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon down there. We have a lot of content with relation to music, original content, a few funny skits, and everything that music has to offer. Now, this is TUGGtv signing off, and as always, stay metal.